Hello and welcome back everybody to lesson number 11 in this FS Academy Navigator series. Today we are over in Scotland for a little bit of island hopping. Before we jump in, please do me a huge favor and hit that like button, subscribe if you feel like it. I'd appreciate it. Let's go.
Before we send you solo in the next flight, there are a few final points to cover. We're flying northbound along the Isle of Arran to the southwest of Glasgow, en route to Arran Castle. The glide clear rule that we have touched upon a few times already also extends to situations where you wish to cross a stretch of water, as we will do shortly, to cross over the Firth of Clyde to reach the Scottish mainland, before heading over to Glasgow Airport to land. Single-engine aircraft such as our Cessna 152 need to always have the ability to glide back to a safe landing spot in the event of an engine failure, and there is a simple rule of thumb that we can use to work out what altitude will enable us to do this. 1,000 feet of altitude allows us to glide for roughly 1.5 nautical miles. Using our VFR map, we've determined that the stretch of water we need to cross is about 6 nautical miles wide. Therefore, to glide 6 nautical miles, 6 divided by 1.5 is 4, meaning 4,000 feet. This gives a conservative number, as it allows us to glide the entire distance across the water, whereas more accurately, we only need to glide from the actual worst case point, which is halfway across. We'll use the 4,000 feet figure for safety. Take us up to 4,000 feet.
Alright, will do.
Great, get us stabilized to 4,000 feet and speed back up to 100 knots.
Alright, we're at 4,000 feet. Still on track for that castle. Now we're going to speed back up to about 100 knots.
When flying at higher altitudes, we are in thinner air. The piston engine runs best at a certain fuel-to-air ratio. We have reduced the air side of the ratio by climbing to a higher altitude. We can adjust the fuel by using the red mixture knob located beside the throttle. The mixture is set to full rich, but now please pull the lever back a small amount to reduce the fuel flow and bring us back towards our optimal fuel-to-air ratio. You will notice an increase in engine RPM as the engine begins to run more efficiently. This improves our fuel economy and also reduces engine rough running and carbon deposits on the spark plugs. When we reach Arran Castle, we'll turn right to cross the Firth of Clyde towards Mount Stewart House, located on the eastern coast of the Isle of Bute.
There's the castle. Hopefully I'm not too far over.
Great, now turn to heading 059 to get us on our way to Mount Stewart House. Time. This leg will be about 6 minutes.
Well, I was already at 059.
Tune. We're going to land at Glasgow Airport, so let's tune the Glasgow tower frequency of 118.805.
Here we go.
Great, now our radios are ready for when we get nearer to the Glasgow control zone. Temp, engine parameters are all looking normal. Tank, fuel is looking good.
All right. We're back up to 4,000 at 100 knots. We're on heading.
We're on our way to Mount Stewart House, which is on the eastern shore of the Isle of Bute. It's a country house built in the 1870s, surrounded by expansive gardens, and was the first home in Scotland to be supplied with electricity. It may have also had the world's first heated swimming pool in a private home.
Surprised there's no POI marker for this one. Unless I am completely off. But I don't see it, so.
We're getting a good view of the house now. Take us overhead and we'll leave Mount Stewart en route for EVGA power station.
Well, I must have missed that because I didn't see that at all.
Now turn left to heading 034 towards the site of the disused EVGA power station. This is where there was a power station, which was in operation until 1988 and featured a nearly 800-foot tall chimney. Time. This leg is also quite short, at just 5 minutes. Tune. We have Glasgow Tower tuned into Com1, so we'll give them a call in a moment. The edge of the Glasgow CTR is near EVGA. We expect ATC to want us to be 2,000 feet or below by this point. Please start descending now to 1,900 feet to give us plenty of time.
Alright, start descending.
Good. Now please manage the descent so that we are below 2,000 feet before we reach EVGA. Temp, engine looks fine. Tank, fuel is as expected. Alright, let's call Glasgow Tower and request zone entry to land. We'll expect to be asked to arrive using the published River Clyde entry-exit route. This is a predetermined corridor to allow VFR traffic to arrive using a known procedure, much like how commercial traffic follow IFR procedures known as SIDS and STARS. Glasgow Tower, Golf Foxtrot Sierra Alpha Charlie, request zone entry to land.
Golf Alpha Charlie, Glasgow Tower, pass your message.
Golf Alpha Charlie, Cessna 152, descending 1,900 feet, QNH 1010, reaching EVGA, request VFR join to land.
Golf Alpha Charlie, Roger, cleared to enter the control zone at EVGA, VFR not above 2,000 feet. Route Greenock to Bishopton, clearance limit Bishopton. Runway 05 in use.
VFR not above 2,000 feet, EVGA, Greenock, limit Bishopton, runway 05, Golf Alpha Charlie. Okay, so we're clear to enter the CTR, but to do so we need to be below 2,000 feet, as predicted.
Yep, we're looking good. $1,100 feet to go. And starting to level off at 1,900
Good.
feet.
Now maintain 1,900 feet as we enter the zone at EVGA.
There's EVGA.
As ATC instructed, now please take us to the docks at Greenock, which is the start of the VFR entry procedure for Glasgow.
Yeah, right there.
Now please turn towards Bishopton, which is our clearance limit. If we don't hear from ATC before we reach there, we'll fly in orbit to wait our turn to land.
Flying into the sun.
Follow the River Clyde, keeping us to the southern shoreline, as this will take us towards Bishopton.
Okay.
Now that we're back down to a lower altitude, set the mixture to full rich again, which is the correct setting for the approach and landing.
Done.
VFR circuits are typically flown at 1,000 feet above airfield level. The elevation of Glasgow Airport is 26 feet, so we will round up and use 1,100 feet as circuit altitude. Please now take us down to 1,100 feet in preparation for the approach.
Alright, descending. I think this will be the first time that we had to land in this series. Okay, about 100 feet to go.
Great. Now we're at a suitable altitude to join the circuit to land. Fly to Bishopton and wait for ATC instructions.
Alright. We'll level off now, best that we can. That's a tower up there to our 12 o'clock. 1 o'clock. It's hard to make out with the sun.
Golf Alpha Charlie join left base, runway 05. Cleared to land, wind 350 at 8.
Left base, clear to land, runway 05, Golf Alpha Charlie. Alright, bring us in for a landing on runway 05. Come to a stop on the runway.
Alright. Putting our landing lights on. That's the runway there. I don't want to get too low. Nice. Put a first notch of flaps in. Second notch of flaps. I'm gonna guess landing speed is 60 or 70 knots. Not 100% sure. Okay, we'll go full flaps. Start our turn. Shows we're too high. We can adjust that. Go, we got one red. Two red, we'll pitch. Try to hold it. A little low. Got some more power. A bit low there, not a big deal. We're coming in looking okay. Right. Hold the nose up. And we're down. Okay, we'll get back to center line and we'll bring this thing to a full stop.
That's it. You've completed all of the lessons in FS Academy Navigator.
Woohoo!
We've come a long way and covered a lot of subjects, from becoming familiar with ground features, simple stepping stone navigation, drift effects, plus nighttime and winter VFR. You now have all the tools you need to navigate the land VFR on your own. I'll be leaving you here. Next, you'll leave Glasgow on your own for a solo trip across the Scottish Highlands so that you can put your new skills into practice. Everything you need is in the manual, including airfield charts, VFR maps, and the navlog. The trip is broken up into several legs, with some fantastic scenery along the way. I hope this is just the beginning for a long and rewarding journey that will see you putting your navigation skills to the test across the globe for years to come. Well done. Enjoy your trip and all the best.
Well, you heard him, folks. That was it. That was all 11 lessons. So our next big adventure is a trip. I don't know how many legs it's in. I don't know how many videos I'll have to do with it, but I will take a look at it, and I'm pretty sure I probably can't do it in one video since it's several legs. So we'll see what we can do. Thanks again so much for following along on this adventure. Please, if you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.